help repair the mess of this land that we've all made. You see kids are tired growing up just to fight another war and singing, God bless America, unless they know.
Good evening, Boston. My name is Leo Edwards, better known as the Emanspator. Today we have a very nice show for you today because yesterday myself and Mr. Wilson, we started off talking about these two books, The Random Thoughts and A World Without Black People. I think today when we finish stripping these two books apart, I want to hear everybody in Boston, Massachusetts, New York, all over the world calling for these two books, because the author of this book is a man coming from deep inside. And when you listen to some of his ideas that he put truth to power, I think it would leave you in no other state of mind but to just get some of these books and pass it on to those that need this information. Mr. Wilson, it's a pleasure having you back here another day, sir.
Thank you very much for having me here.
If if you feel like you can introduce yourself to Boston, because some people who might not see us yesterday, somebody might be home today.
Yeah, my name is David L.G. Wilson. I am the author of two books which have been in progress for many years now. Over the years, I have put together those books, and today I am presenting them to you with the utmost care. I hope you would take on everything that is written in it, buy the books, take on everything that is written in it, look at it, face the facts as they are, and enjoy.
Well, let's go in and start to enjoy this book, A World Without Black People. For someone to sit down and come up with the idea, a world without black people.
Because in my opinion, there could never be a world without black people. We are the foundation of everything that civilization sits upon. Science, mathematics, the philosophy, education in all its different form comes from the black man. It did not come from Europe to Africa or to the black man. It came from the black man to Europe and the rest of the world.
So now, I hear you use the word in the philosophy, because a lot of times people get taken by philosophers with a different philosophy. Within your book, the philosophy that work within your book that could turn right wrong and turn wrong right, I want you to push that out, bring that out to us and the people.
Well, in the past, we have been taught that Europe or the Europeans have brought everything to us. This is not true. It's not true historically. It's not true when you look at any of the cultures that come from any of the holy books. And it is not true as far as the Bible is concerned. The Europeans were never around when the Bible and different things were put together.
Mm-hmm. Because in your book, where you're talking about the Bible and Europe, because I see in your book in Genesis, it was talking about, you say within there, you have some scriptures that specifically point out black nations. I would like you to get some more out there, because right now this is to keep our people. When I say our people, this book is not a book that we're going to be preaching racism. It's not preaching anger. This is a book to enlighten people. Once you want to walk in truth, I think this is the book. You have to try to get in your care, read it carefully, and understand the author and what he put in there. Because this here is a diamond. Yeah, so we're talking about the scriptures. You have some scriptures in there like Genesis 1 and Isaiah 9, 24 and 25, where you talk about the different black races in there. Who was these black races that you're talking about in there?
Oh, the three progenitors of the races. You had Shem, you have Ham, and you have Japheth. According to the scriptures and most literature, Ham represents the dark races of Africa. Shem represent the Israelites. Those are the people who were brought from the west coast of Africa to the Americas and the West Indies.
All right.
And Japheth represents the European branch of the scriptures. And the Europeans were not around in biblical times. In fact, there is a scripture that say they went to the Isles of the Gentiles.
Right.
That's the Isles that the word Gentile represents the other nation. It's just another word for nations.
I think you will find it in Genesis 10, because that's when you talk about Noah and the three
Genesis
sons.
10
Yeah.
it has to do with the
Noah's sons.
what is called the Table of Nations.
Right. So the Isles of the Gentile was spoken in there. I think somewhere in the fifth verse when they was naming out the children of Japheth, the Japhethites. Yeah. So so you have a lot now. The same blacks that were backed up in the scriptures here in Genesis and Isaiah, is that the same set of blacks we will be talking about in Exodus and Numbers?
Oh, sure. They're the same people.
So then down to 2 Kings 5, the same black people
They were the same black people who were in what we call the Middle East today. In fact, all the people of that area were black people. It was not until Europeans invaded the area and cohabited with the people of that area that the complexion scheme changed. But prior to that, they were all dark-skinned people.
So with all the skin change, they still know the truth.
Oh, sure.
But they might not be able to tell the truth.
Oh, I'm not sure anybody can tell the truth.
You know why I say that? Why I say that? Because it's the skin change, the language change. These are the things that come between now. This is the virus between there. That the black man himself, he get lost within that game right there. You see, because as you saying within your book here, if all these black representation that we have here, from the beginning of the creation of times here, where the history of the black man is to be told. I mean, what's the position of the black man today, and try to explain to us why this should be a situation today, because it's in your book.
According to what is written in my book is the story of one particular people, the Israelites. It's mostly, the only time it relates to other people is when they interact with the Israelites.
Right?
The book is mostly concerning the Israelites.
One race.
One people.
All right.
And it is the people that is called the chosen people. Not the chosen people as we look at them today, because today most people think the chosen people are the people who are in Israel. They are not.
But if you listen to the radio teachings every day, everything come about now is on the Jews in the Christian form. And here it is now, we have a black man, Mr. Wilson, coming, and we learning about Israel on the next side. Because today, in all television evangelism, you hear they're talking about to the Jews first, because they are the people of God and blah, blah, blah. But here it is, we're talking about Israel.
Yeah, Israel as a nation was never a European nation. It has always been a nation of dark-skinned people who lived in the Middle East in biblical times. It has never been a European nation. The idea that the Jews are a white people or a light-skinned people or a European people is something that has been thrown on the world, which is in actual a fake, a bad story.
All right, so to speak. So now, with this book here, I'm going to bring out the bad story to you, Boston. I hope that you're there and you're listening because the books is sending you back from this book, A World Without Black People. Everything the author is saying here, he can back it up with the reference that he have, which will send you to other books.
I can send you to other books written by well-known authors. I can send you to the scriptures, and I have history to back up what I have said also.
So now, with philosophy comes and it make a capsule, which means it forms a community. So a community that been fed under this false philosophy. I think, what kind of danger you think we are looking?
Well, it's unfortunate that the society has been fed with what it has been fed with, because there is no truth in most of the things that we are taught today. In fact, there are a lot of half-truths in the things that we are taught. For instance, we talk about the Jews. If you look at who the Jews are, they are the fourth son of Israel.
Okay.
And the fourth son of Israel, if you look at what is called the Torah, the book that, or Bible, you would see that in the Torah it says that the Jews are black. And there is adequate information within the Hebrew and other languages to show that it is black. Because if you look at the concordance, the strong concordance under H 6938, you would see that it shows that the word that represents black in the English is this Hebrew word kadah.
Kadah.
And that is the word used when the scriptures say the Jews or the Israelites are black.
Okay. So with this community, with this philosophy, and it comes straight in on our people who knowing who we are, who knowing our capabilities, and who been pushed in a position now like this. I don't want to know what you know. I want you to know just what I want to teach you.
Well, it is unfortunate that the pastors and preachers and teachers of the Bible have, I don't even know how to say that they don't read, but they teach whatever they feel like teaching rather than what they should teach the people.
Now because viewers, I mean, we're talking, but within that book is everything we're speaking here, it's right inside of here. So you should start to get something and you should trigger because you really want to know the truth if you're seeking truth. If you're seeking truth, a world with all black people, it's a good eye-opener for you and it's very solid. Because here it is, they're teaching false because of the philosophies and the community that builds itself around these philosophers, so which give them the right to teach false to the people.
Now, it would seem that the society itself is forcing the teachers and preachers of the Bible to teach wrongly.
wrong, okay.
Because most of them are under something called a 501c,
Okay.
which they are being paid not to teach the truth.
Repeat that again because I want.
Yeah,
I want
they
my
are
viewers,
being paid not to teach the truth.
I want my viewers to really get that clear because, you see, a lot of things that we may hear and think is true, according to the author and the writer of this book, and he is opening your eyes, really, where you will really see the light in what he is saying. Because if you don't have a head-on collision with truth, you're gonna stay lost all your life. Right now, we won't run right into to bring in the big picture here, education, because we're going to go into a break and we will be right back. Okay? Boston, we're going to be right back. Thank you.
Oh, those boys are much too much. Those boys are much too much. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We're going to beat them and bust them.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Let's get a little bit rowdy. R-O-W-D-Y.
Take time to be a dad today. Call or visit fatherhood.gov to learn more.
My new mom and I have a lot in common.
The great outside.
We both love the outdoors.
So shiny.
That's not a flower. We both love geology.
Oh, look. An igneous one.
That's not a rock. And she knows a lot about wildlife.
A labradoodle.
That's not a dog. Hanging out has been kind of fun.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
Yes, Boston. Right back within the Emancipated Hour, and we're talking about a very important piece of diamond that we found here in Dorchester. And the holder of that diamond is Mr. David L.G. Wilson. David, do you speak another language besides English?
Not necessary. I know a few things in other language. I know various words that go into other things in other languages,
Okay.
but I do not speak another language.
Okay. You like me,
I'm
know-
trying to learn Hebrew right now.
Okay. Yes, so now we see what's happening right here now because you just bring an important cue in the 501c. Let us talk about the 501c. Where does 501c, what is a chapter or?
It's a charter
It's a charter, right.
that the pastors and teachers of the scriptures are under, which they are not supposed to teach certain things that are in the scriptures.
Go on, come on.
They are not supposed to, bring out the truth
Bring the
about
truth.
who the Israelites are, who the people are being oppressed in this country are. They want to keep it hidden from the people as long as possible so that they can extract as much as possible from them, with them knowing not they are the chosen people of God.
I want to ask you a question now. Between yesterday and today, when we was getting into this book and we touched a little, so it had some eye-opener, know where we was coming from with some of what we talk about with this book. Did you get a threatening phone call last night or today?
No, I didn't.
Okay, well then you were the emancipator, so now we're gonna talk. We got to get this book in people's hands. You know what I'm saying? So if somebody want to get this book, how would they get to this book and you?
Or they can call me personally at 857-492-7055.
Okay.
They can Google the book with my name, David L.G. Wilson, and you can get it on Lulu, you can get it on Amazon, and you can get it from Barnes and Nobles.
Your book is in.
And it is in various places in the world. It is in the United Kingdom, it is in Australia, it is in India, different parts of the world.
So which means to say, This book, you will get a lot of call. You know, I looking like if you might pull you in as the first time one of your writers moving straight into a Hall of Fame call. Yeah, they have to give you something for this that you're putting out here, because here it is now. We're talking about the 501c, the 501c which governed the place called the church, right?
Yes.
And other businesses are governed under that 501c too also.
Yeah, other businesses that have to do with the scriptures, Bible things, and things that, what I should say, people ought to know that the society itself want to keep away from them.
Listen, I want you to talk, sir. I want you to bring it out because it's in there. I want to bring it out. Bring it out because this is your time now. This is your time. You talk it out. Don't feel, you go ahead. This book, people have to get this book.
There isn't anything else I can say about it, that it is something that prevents people from teaching what they ought to teach. There isn't anything else I can say. Mm-hmm. I don't know how many ways I can say it, but the 501(c) is something that holds back people who are supposed to be doing certain things from doing it.
Okay.
I don't know how many other ways I can say it.
So the education system grabs the 501(c), and between the education system, you're saying that according to the 501(c), give you the authority not to speak truth to power.
Yeah,
which
that's
means,
right. They're not supposed to say certain things.
Right.
There are certain things that they're not supposed, certain truths that they're not supposed to tell the people whom it concerns.
So I want to go a little higher within the 501 and the church. You know, it's not outside the box because some of you have other names in there. But I want to use some of the modern day warriors who under the 501c3. Let's see if they are in the same light like us, or if they're still in the dark. Because you have like T.D. Jakes and all these big guns out there.
I do not want to.
You don't want to go there.
Implicate anybody else in what I'm saying.
Okay.
I just want to talk about the book, what it contains, and don't have any other person involved. It should be about the book.
Okay.
And just the book.
Okay. So then we're going to come off the 501 for a minute. We could drop it off there. Okay. But somewhere down can I take this book for a minute? I think we have to go back here to page. Yeah, somewhere down here, we was talking and you was you have a lot of this book that you're given here. It's really undoing the book that is mainly in course today, the Bible.
It's not undoing the Bible.
It's wrong word.
It is supporting the truth concerning the Bible.
The Bible, right. Yeah, I just used the wrong word. Yeah, you're right to correct me too. Because I don't want them to, if I wrong, both of you wrong, that wouldn't look good. Yeah, so that's why you see, with this supporting the truth that out of the Bible, there is a lot of truth that is in the Bible that you are talking about in this book. So,
sure.
So we will have to deal with a lot of things biblically in order to get this book and the truth that from this book, so the listeners could know if this is saying X, Y, Z and it's referring back to the Bible and your idea of understanding what the chapter or what the paragraph saying, and people could see within your idea for we have a call. Good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon. This is what you see. Great show, guys, but I'm wondering, David, can you give us some specifics? You don't necessarily have to really talk about if you talk about the 501c, what are they not permitting? What truth are they not permitting? Or read me some passages from your book so I can get some examples of what I'm going to learn when I purchase the book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she wants the caller is asking us because this book, like we said, It was not undoing the Bible. It just revealing the truth of that is locked within that book. So the caller would like you to bring some of the facts that we have in here so that when the caller themselves they know exactly where they want to go in the book and what they want to look for. So if you have something to read, thank you very much.
I will read from the introduction of the book. A World Without Black People, about this book. Let me tell those who have a chance to read this work, it is not about color, race, or ethnicity. This work is about truth. Truth as expressed by many well-known writers whose narrative verifies the historical and biblical facts which show that the Israelites, the subject of this work, were originally black people. That the black people called Negroes were not cursed. The truth is, they were blessed by the Most High. Genesis 9:1, Isaiah 19:24-25. In the days of Noah, all the people were black. Isaiah, in his day, spoke of Egypt, a nation known to be black in biblical times, to be cursed by God of Israel was always indicated by the changing of the natural skin color to white. Exodus 4:6, 4:6-7, Numbers 12:9-12, 2 Kings 5:27.
Could I ask you something? I hear you talk about the curse.
Yeah.
A lot of us was raised that one of Noah's son had a curse. Could you enlighten? We have.
In fact, this is still taught in the churches that the sons of Ham are cursed, and they identify the sons of Ham as the Negro, which is not true. The Negroes are not the sons of Ham. The sons of Ham are the Africans. The sons of Shem are the people referred to as Negroes, and they are not cursed according to the Bible.
So why the curse that they're talking about and putting it on black people? I mean, there was some curses that went through in your writing here. You have some examples of some curses there. So
the example of the curses that are in this book shows that the curse that was given to any given nation changed the color from black to white, not white to black.
We're going to hold it right there because we're going to a one-minute break, and when we come back, we're going to talk some more on the curse. Okay? We're going to be right back.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Maybe you see something suspicious, but you don't want to get involved. It's nothing, you think. Can you be sure? If you see something, say something. Report suspicious activity to local authorities.
Yes. Yes, Boston, if you're following us, we're talking now on something that is very, very important that we must know as a people. Because since I was small growing up, this talk about the curse and the curse and the curse, and a lot of people accept being under a curse. Because I think that's where they've been dumbed down to. They accept the curse. And I think when you accept something that is not given to you, according to Stevie Wonder sing a song, superstition. He said it is superstition writing on the wall. Because when you believe in things that you don't understand, he said you suffer because superstition is not the way. And in what you are showing us here, you are removing a lot of us out of some of the superstitious groove that we are in, believing all of the different nonsense and not believing what is truth. Because right now I think you have a people right now, if truth come to them, they don't know what is truth.
Or if it snapped them in their face, they wouldn't know.
You see? But let's come and talk about the curse. That curse, I would like people to lift that, get that off. If we could uplift that curse, we could start to help set our people free so they could run into this great book that you have here in front of us.
Yeah, I would like to read another passage here concerning the Israelites and the complexion, and it has to do with most of the things that we hear day by day.
Okay. You want my glasses?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm? You want my glasses?
Yeah.
Hmm?
What did you
You
say?
want my glasses?
No.
Okay.
I have tried to explain to the truth of the identity to fellow Israelites with little success. Let me show you what the Bible dictionary says.
Okay.
Ham, page 213 in the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary.
Mm-hmm.
The youngest son of Noah, born 96 years before the flood. One of 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor, that is the father, of the dark nations, not the Negroes. But the Egyptians, Ethiopians, Libyans, Canaanites. And I'm asking a question. If Ham is not the father of the Negro, who then is the father of the Negro?
You see, even though if you take them still back into Genesis chapter 10, and it's right there, they still will not believe. Because when we say Ham, the father of the Negroes, Ham, they got to know that Ham is Ethiopia. Ethiopia is Cush. You know, so once you're talking about Ham, Ethiopia, Cush, we are talking this is the black man we are talking about here.
Yeah, the word Ethiopia is a Greek word that means black or burnt face. Just the word Ethiopia. It explains the complexion of the people.
And Cush.
Just in the word. Cush is the same thing.
Yeah,
it explains the complexion of the people. Kemet is the same thing. It explains the complexion of the people. Just the word explains the complexion. So it is difficult for me to understand why people reading the Bible don't understand the things that are in the Bible. It's difficult for me to understand that.
Well, according to your books there, because your book have a deep reservoir in there, especially when it comes in to speak about the slaveries and all the activities within slavery that have done to adjust people. And you see, it's down in there that they have to get in that well of that fountain of truth there, that when they come out from there, they can unfold themselves.
Well, this is the main reason why I have written this book, because I want to enlighten people as to who they are. In this country, the only set of people who call themselves by a color rather than a nationality are black people.
Why?
And when they don't call themselves by a color, they call themselves by two continents, African American. African American is not a nationality. A nationality is either Israelite, Egyptian, whatever, a European or whatever. You can't have two continents as a nationality, African American.
And
strange to me.
Because, now you're right there because, and I think that's what the writer of the other book, which you are on Revealing the Truth from, he tell you cannot hold two masters at the same time. So if you want to think like David, you could think like David, but don't come before the writer of that next book to tell me you thinking like David. You got to think like him. Because when you going through your university studies, I hear a lot of students talk about this who've been in the universities with different professors, especially when it comes around to this area of education.
Well, again, education is not something that I don't know if I would explain the word properly, but education usually brings out and sharpens what is within you. The word education means to bring out, not to put something in. To put something in is to indoctrinate.
Okay.
It brings out what is in you.
So now, when we look at the world, let me take a look back at the motherland, Africa, with all this wealth, and the people is poor.
Well, it is said that Africa is the richest country with the poorest people. And the reason why they are poor is because somebody other than the Africans are using the wealth. And you should know that. It comes through colonialism. And although we seem to think that colonialism is gone, it's still an active force. Because the diamonds that come from Africa isn't being cut or distributed in Africa. It's distributed from Antwerp in Belgium. The people who are in the Middle East who say they are Israel today, which they are not, are the biggest diamond exchange in the world. How did they get the diamond that belonged to the black man? How did they get it? It's so strange to me.
So now, the Israel of 1948, I should think you should have that because you're very versed on what's going here, and I don't think you'll leave something like that out. The Israel of 1948, I hope it's in there where the people could find.
What I am talking about here is in the book. It's only an outline of what is in the book. Israel of 1948 is the idea of a novelist, a guy named Theodor Herzl.
Okay, all right. Theodor
Herzl.
Herzl.
Yeah. In fact, most of the people who became the first leaders of Israel, including Ben-Gurion, overstay his visa that he had from the British.
Okay.
So
he didn't get deported.
He did not get deported, but he became one of the world's greatest terrorists and then a leader of Israel, modern day Israel.
Wow.
Ben-Gurion.
Okay. And all of this information is right
in the book.
A world without black people, which will be impossible. Because here it is, we're going to close off on a world without black people, maybe because we have the random thoughts where you've got to get a lot of jumps from this random thought from this gentleman. But I just want to knock this clear right here to set everything right in, to show you where we was coming from with a world without black people. Because when he said black people and we went into biblical black people, we're talking about Ethiopia. You will see things happening today. You will see things happening today which like we talk about the sons of Ham, which is Cush. Cush is a son of Ham, and Cush is Ethiopia. Mizraim is a son of Ham, and he is Egypt, which is called Kemet. You see, Phut is a son of Ham, he is called Libya. And we have Canaan, which is called Palestine. And the places that are very hot today with battle against the people in their own land is in this area of the earth we are talking about right here, is in Africa, where the black man have been run to and fro, been robbed every day, been bring down to worse than the livestock.
The place that we call Israel today and is basically what we call Northeast Africa, because before the Suez Canal was dug in 1869, there was one landmass. There was no waterway until 1869.
Okay. We're going to go into another break right here, and we are going to be right back.
Really? Buzz, what's up, man? You left some leaves burning out here.
Yeah, I just came in just for a second.
Come on, man. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
It's a good point there, Smokey.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Know what?
What?
Since I got adopted, I've learned a lot about these humans.
I know. I mean, check out these two. It's Flirt City over here.
Yeah, I noticed that. It looks like my human is definitely into your human.
Oh, look! I think she's getting his number.
Nice.
Your human's got some sweet moves.
Takes after his dog. Oh, look, they're doing that thing where they put their arms around each other.
She kicked up a leg. It's like in the movies.
That's awesome. Looks like we're going to be hanging out a little bit more.
This song was created with heartbeats of children in need. Find out how it can help frontline health workers bring hope to millions of children at everybeatmatters.org.
Okay, Boston. Now we still here with Mr. Wilson, and now we are going into another book that he also wrote, which is Random Thoughts. But at this time, I will give my dear friend the privilege to give a lot of some of the poems that he have there, which it will speak for itself, so it will show you where he was coming from all the time, why he found this piece of pearl, and he was not afraid to come forward, whether they would have killed him or not. He bring it to diamond, so we are here. We can collect from this same piece of diamond, so we can teach somebody. Go ahead, David.
Yeah, I'm reading a poem titled Hunger. And it's not only hunger for food. It is hunger for knowledge. It is hunger for everything that sustains us. I begin. I have felt the sting of hunger, and it makes me groan. With its ravishing power, every fiber in me it has blown. In death, the sad story will be told, as the greed of those who are at the top deny me food, value, sustenance, love, decency, and dignity. A chance to be satisfied, to be a satisfied human being. A human being with potential. Every being like me can be. I have felt the sting of hunger, and I know it is more than greed. It is deeper than the superiority man's stupid arrogance breeds. It kills the spirit. Its victims cease to dream. One hopes becomes flat I am hungry. Picture that. How will I survive another day? How will I keep this monster at bay? What can I do to justify my cause? For what in life must I pause? Should I look after he who is like me, hungry and poor and without hope? Should I shout so the world can hear that my humanity is something about which no one cares?
You want the glasses? You want the glasses? You sure you're hungry? You want glasses? You don't want the glasses?
Yeah.
You think all right. Yeah, but that hunger we have seen a lot of the hunger, what it brings out from within you. But you could give me some more poems anyway, because a lot of the random thoughts, we will be moved by that, because that will help some people to know that they and all got random thoughts also.
A searching for God.
Yes.
I look beyond the stars to see if God would ever be with me. I grasp at the wonders he has done and try to find his blessed home. I looked way beyond the moon to ease my memory of gloom. Some say the Master will come someday with his glory, refreshing the earth in every way. I met the Master in his perfect home, his glory much brighter than his shining throne. He gave to me his precious love, all the answers I seek from above. I looked down from heaven and saw the earth, mired in senseless, filthy death. I looked at God who stood by me and wondered why these things should be. I saw the arms which man create. I listened. I heard his senseless debate. In my quest, I conversed with God, and he told me man's intentions are only bad. He gave me the answer to brotherly love. He insists I accept the gospel from above. I flew across the heaven and back to earth, bringing the message to man mired in filthy dirt. On earth I saw his moral state. In his heart there was nothing but hate. He did not stand by God's gospel with me, so the Maker's greatness mortal man could not see.
See, when you're reading, and somebody who really deep and following could see there's your lifestyle, your life just unfolding to what this big author becomes today.
The spirit of the times. I have written of my experiences at work. I have written of my experiences at play. I have written of my experiences in song, and that will hit the air with a bang. I have spoken of my experiences in school, which overthrows the yoke that makes one a fool. I shout loudly of my experiences with color, because I know there is much to be desired. I talk strongly of my hopes and my wishes, but in a moment, my dreams vanishes. I search for reality in my writing. What I see is real, but frightening. I have spoken of my past and will speak of my future. I have seen the plight of minorities, from the greatest Indian brave to the lowest Negro slave. I will speak aloud because I know with the suffering my destiny was born. I have looked at justice from early dawn and waged a war to find the master's plan. I have seen injustice in every locality, and as man becomes wicked, he calls it legality. I have striven for justice, and I know one day our greatest goal, brotherhood, will be achieved. Strife of past centuries would be no more. The Israelite spirit will go and glow.
I want to ask you a question too, because the naming of the races, who is responsible for that?
The races as we know it today,
yeah,
as we know it today,
yes,
that was a guy named Johann Blumbeck. He was a German. He named the races according to complexion. The red race, the white race, the brown race, the yellow race, and the black race. He named them according to the complexion, which is not true. The races go according to the seed, not according to complexion.
Repeat again.
The races go according to the seed, not according to complexion. So a very light-skinned person can be the same race like a very dark-skinned person, depending on who the father is.
Okay. You don't go
by according to color.
Okay. So now we wind it down right now, and we're going to talk about some of the black defeats that we think we should talk. Let's talk a little bit about some of the black defeats here in where the town we live in, Massachusetts, in Boston, because we could talk about Black Hill downtown, which is called Beacon Hill.
Beacon Hill, in earlier times, used to be called Nigger Hill, because the vast majority of the property that were in that area were owned by blacks. They were chased from Charles Street to Roxbury. And now we have a Charles Street church, which is on, Warren Street, because of that.
Okay. Buster, listen. This is the two books that we were talking about here. David, hold the books. Yeah. Hold them up. Yeah. No, the next way. Yeah, this is A World Without Black People and Random Thoughts. This is David L.G. Wilson. And this author, please, Boston, go and search online at the information that you get. Call David and you could get right into the zone where you will get the books and see how your thoughts could change randomly, because they are within you. It's only you that can do a difference within yourself, because like I always say, 80% of what I know is what I've been taught. I need the next 20% of me to teach me from what I've been taught. And right now, I'm on the better side, because a world without black people, that would never happen. Because even though we are not there, our knowledge is what set the pace.
Yeah.
So to you, peace and a pleasant weekend, Memorial Weekend. You all run around. Thanks for the staff. And be careful.
But if I broke her heart, then won't you tell her that